Peace, everybody is here. You're tuned in to Moors in America. Well, first, before we really get started, I want to rise giving the Most High the highest praises. Talking about our Father God, Allah, Creator. Also want to stand honors to our Prophet, Noble through Ali. And honors also to the forerunners to the Prophet, our brother, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And I'm extending honors to everything Moorish, including all of you light bringers watching right now. Hit the like and share button. We're going to talk about something that's going on, maybe occurring right under your nose. What I want to do, though, before I do this, I want to put a disclaimer out here. Now, even though we're exposing something that everyone should be, and even though some of these things may be kind of disturbing to hear about, I'm not trying to incite any violence. I'm not trying to incite anyone to target any group of individuals. This is not about that at all. This is just raising awareness. We're going to give solutions towards the end of this too. So it's not just some reckless thing getting everybody all hyped up, right? We don't want to fearmonger over here. But you do want to check this out because I think this is important to know. Everybody, good evening. You're listening to the True and Living Light Bringer Moors in America as always. I'm your brother Lloyd Douglas, also known as Sharif Ali. Here, we are uncovering and bringing glorious light to all issues pertinent to the Moorish American paradigm. That's what we do here on this wonderful podcast known as Moors in America. So hopefully everyone's having a wonderful evening. If you wouldn't mind, please share this broadcast on your favorite social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Even take little shorts of it and put it up on TikTok. We're going to go in, and when we come back, we're really going to go into this topic. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you share this. In other words, grab a friend, and here we go. Moors in America, y'all. Don't go anywhere.
I am not a Negro, Black, colored, African American. I'm a Moorish American. Peace.
Yeah. Hey, 5 on the right, 2 on the left, man. You know what time it is. Yo, we just Moors in America, soar through the shores and endure criminal acts of war on our character. 7 years after the 4th score, no reward. Shout out to the most courageous, they was jumping over barriers. Where does that compare to you? We come from a place where you scared to visit our area. We come from a place where it's scary for good Samaritans. Heavy luggage we carrying, babies having babies. It's crazy being American. Praise the one and only Allah, there's no comparison. La ilaha illa Allah, body and buried gin. Laughing at you clowns like ha-ha, dodging the Nephilim. Conquer lower self with the high, follow your regimen. Way before they came we were gods, and now we specimen. Tried to take the light from our eyes, thank God for Edison. Then they put the wool on our eyes, it's so embarrassing. Now we travel frequently, we should invest in Sheraton. All of us got gold on our bodies whenever we stepping in. Screaming Ramadan Mubarak, training the flesh again. Wishing we could move as a unit just like the Mexicans. Dodging all the foods with estrogen, synthetic medicines. All sin isn't devilish. Sometimes the decisions that you make come for a better gift. Sometimes when you sin is to relate to all your brethren. Heavenly gates all in our face, we the champions. We live in the sky, we see the angels on the chariots. Waiting on the $20 bill, face a Harriet. I bet you I'ma carry it. I'm in love with music to the point I wanna marry it. But my love for people is greater, so I write messages. Largest spending power, but we still sit at a deficit. Living amongst prejudice, even at our residence. Moors in America, flourishing, excellent. Let's buy up some neighborhoods and groom our own president. Yeah. And I come to you today with all intentions of spreading love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
right. Peace. Want to thank everybody that's here. Let's go ahead and jump into this. So, for the people that's here, I'm gonna share some stuff with you. Hopefully you saw the disclaimer. Um, we're talking about some things that might be disturbing, right? I mean, stuff is crazy if you ask me. But these are things that's really going on. Hang on, let me turn the sound on over here. I want y'all to hear this.
10, might be 40, might be 100,000. There are
Hey,
soldiers.
if you can
Y'all
hear,
better wake up.
if you can hear
There
that,
are tens
please let
of
me know.
thousands of foreign soldiers on U.S. soil. Tens of thousands, might be 10, might be 40, might be
Hey, somebody type a
100,000. There are
one, please, in the chat
soldiers,
if you can hear this guy that's talking.
not people, soldiers
Crystal clear. Good.
waiting, just waiting for their general to wage war on America. They're going to wage war on
Gratitude.
America. Man,
Gratitude,
eyes
everybody.
open, arms up, and not these arms. Eyes open, arms up, man. Protect your family. Stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. This is crazy. We don't know the time. We don't know what they want. And just stay prepared. Anything can happen at any time. And we're not talking years, months, or even weeks.
Okay. So you hear what he's saying, right? He's saying there are soldiers here, already here in this country. So once
Watch
again,
as this guy removes parasites from this hornet.
Hey, I think y'all better wake up.
I'm not trying to hear that other one, but yeah, so he's saying there's soldiers already here, right? Once again, we're not fear mongering over here. We don't preach fear. We're not trying to tell anybody you should be scared, but we do need to be aware, right? We do need to be conscious. So he's saying that, yeah, and I see what you're saying in the chat, brother, right? Emmanuel saying it's not just migrants coming across that U.S. southern border, which is crazy. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. You already know what this is about. So the brother on here is saying that there's soldiers already here in this country. Okay. And if you look at what he said on here, he said, this is why they paying influencers. They'll pay us to keep people distracted, to keep you looking over here, to keep you laughing. Let me show you an example. This is the type of stuff that they want influencers to make, right? I'm about to show you a nice little example because this type of stuff you see all the time. Like, especially if you're one of the people that, watching the videos all the time, always watching a little funny stuff, right? That's what they want us to do. Keep the distractions going. That's why there's so much fuss about creating content for the Netflix and the Hulus and the Disney Plus. They have something for everybody, right? They have a platform for everybody. It's all about keeping you entertained. So as long as we making little goofy, silly little videos and stuff, and I'm not knocking the people that make this stuff, but yeah, like that. Yeah, the Cheesecake Factory. You had the Cheesecake Factory debate. Like, it's a great debate. It's so important. And then everybody's talking about this stuff. How you gonna take me to the Cheesecake Factory for the date? Like, come on, they got all these people talking about this stuff. So as long as we making little silly stuff like this, right, it's all good. Shit. It's all good. Right? You can do the silly goofball stuff all day and night, right? And this stuff gets promoted like big time. This is what the algorithm wants, you know? I'm not even knocking this stuff too. It's funny, but it's like, look, if we doing goofball stuff, we can do goofball stuff all day and night, right? And not only that, but instead of having how many subscribers we got on the YouTube channel, instead of having like 46,000, we got 48,000 subscribers on YouTube. What we got on Facebook? We got 48,000 on YouTube. We got 47,000 on Facebook. So instead of having that much, we'll have more like 480,000 subscribers. Like, it's nothing. If we putting out, if I'm making a bunch of goofy videos and just silly stuff, entertaining stuff, right? Goofball stuff, right? Stuff to keep you distracted. They'll show that all day and night, right? But we come on here with issues that I feel is important for the Moorish American paradigm, to wake people up, to get people to moving, and being active, and knowing what's actually going on around you. That stuff ain't getting promoted at all. Matter of fact, the only time it's getting promoted is when you hit that like and share button. So make sure you hit like and share this button right now. If you want to support the cause, make sure you support. Do the super chat. Give us some stars on Facebook. Support the broadcast, because this is not the type of stuff that the algorithm likes. This is not the type of stuff that they want to put out here. And I hate saying they, but you know what I'm talking about. Or if you don't, you're about to find out, because there's actually government officials going along with these programs that are not working for our greater good. They're working against us, right? So I showed that video just to give you an example of what we're talking about today. Yeah, the topic says migrant crisis. It's past being a crisis, man. What's going on is insane. It's absolutely insane. It makes no sense, and it's being funded, financed by the government, the U.S. government, right? They're cool with it. They're financing it, right? So here's what we're gonna do, more is I got some links I want to show you, just to show you what's going on in the government around you, because they do crazy stuff all the time, right? They're about to they sending a whole bunch of money to Israel. They were sending a whole bunch of money to Ukraine. They're always sending money to all these other places. Like, screw you, forget you, you ain't nothing, right? But in addition to that, right, you have this thing they're calling the migrant crisis, right? Where you have people that are being put up, like you have undocumented immigrants coming into this country. As the brother Emmanuel said, they're not all from Central South America, but they're coming in through that southern border. All right, we're going to show you, though. We're going to show you some facts that you should be concerned about. This doesn't mean go out trying to target these people, but let's keep it real. So many years ago, there was a Zoom call, right, where President Biden is speaking to these civil rights leaders, right? And the words that he used were so awkward. He's saying like that the United States is doomed, that the country is going to be a white minority by 2040. He's saying that the blacks are going to be, the minority to everyone. They're going to be the minority to the Hispanics, right? This is what he said, right? And it was crazy. He always words things awkwardly, but he's trying to explain this stuff. He's saying this country's doomed. It's doomed not just because of African Americans, but by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? So listen to this. We know that what's his name? Joe Biden says a lot of goofball stuff. He's out of it, right? But he's telling you some of the plan that's going on. So listen to this now. So he's saying that by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And blacks are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make a larger portion of population than y'all do. This was a private Zoom call, was leaked on December 22nd, 2020. So this was a private Zoom call to these black civil rights leaders. He's telling them, because he's saying that the Hispanics, they don't really know which way they're going to go. They don't know how they'll vote. They don't know what party or, what type of lawmakers they're going to support. So he's telling them, giving them instructions like, y'all going to have to start with Hispanics, try to get them onto the Democratic side, right? This is what he was actually saying. And I'm sharing this with you because it was wild, right? It was really wild. Now I'm gonna try to play that portion here just in case there's some people here that haven't heard it, right? Let's see if we can get this up. Okay.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Okay. So yeah, the guy, he's giving them marching orders, because like the Democratic leaders and the civil rights leaders, they all work for them, right? So he's telling them, y'all gonna have to start working with the Hispanics more. He's like, y'all need to get them on board with us because they're not on board, right? They don't know what they'll do or who they'll vote for, what direction they're gonna go in. They're wild cards, right? So he's giving them these instructions because they have plans. They are purposely bringing in people through the southern borders, right? Purposely. All right. So he's letting this be known what's going on. I'm gonna share something else with you more. So just hang on here. We're gonna put some pieces together. We're gonna make some sense out of this craziness that's going on. All right. And when I say craziness, I mean it's wild, and these things that are happening, they're being done by design. That's why it's so important to really understand or to know what's going on, because these things aren't accidents, right? So one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is just something I had just seen recently, right? There was a story in the news. Let me see if this is it. There was a story recently in the news about this woman who was like walking around in broad daylight. She was in Long Beach. This is it. And it says a sexual assault was caught on camera, right?
Absolutely. Pedro and Cher, as you said, tonight we are hearing from the victim of this violent attack, which happened on Friday afternoon here in downtown Long Beach. She tells us she is
Now,
speaking
look, man, I know stuff like this happens all the time, right? I'm not trying to act like it's getting, this stuff doesn't happen. It happens all the time. But I'm showing you this for a reason, right? So bear with me, all right? I might have to skip a little bit more.
out to warn behind bars.
I mean, I'm just lucky that it happened in daylight and not at night, because then I probably would have been raped.
You're about to see a sexual attack caught on camera. Rebecca Peterson is simply walking in downtown Long Beach, unaware that a man watching her jumps up from the sidewalk, unzips his pants, and starts following her. Then, within seconds, he pounces, pulling up her skirt, thrusting against her, and knocking her to the ground. Another man sitting nearby springs into action and appears to try to pepper spray the attacker, who walks, then runs away.
In that moment, I had no idea. My first initial thought was like, is this someone I know, like playing a joke on me or something like that, And then it was like a matter of seconds, it just happened in my head.
Long Beach police say they located a suspect hours later and arrested 30-year-old Miguel Avila, who is homeless. He was booked on suspicion of sexual battery and, in an unrelated case, theft of personal property.
So they got this dude who they say is homeless, Miguel Avila, right, in Long Beach, right? And he did this stuff in broad daylight, but this dude, he's done it before. Right? So this guy, like, talking about if you look at his past right on here, and I'm showing this for a reason, right? He was already had been arrested before, right? They had 3 counts of sexual assault with intent to commit sexual assault. He was held on $355,000 bail. Then they're saying there was another incident August 14th. He exposed himself to a 43-year-old woman as she walked to her apartment, lunged at her, sexually assaulted her. Then November that same year, 2 a.m., a female reported she was walking with a friend, and he ran up, headbutted her, pressed himself against her. The victim punched the defendant. He ran away, right? And it's saying another event happened, right? Where he pushed someone to the ground. This female tried to take off her underwear, forcing himself on her, right? And eventually he ran away. So I'm just showing this for a reason. It's the same dude, okay? So you got these people who are able to get access to the country, right? And I see what you're saying in there, brother, about some of them committing sex crimes against children too. So these people who we don't know, like, these people in many cases are undocumented. Nobody even really knows their real names, who they are, where they're from. And they're being not just allowed to come in here, but there's more to it than that, right? So it's a problem. It really is a problem. It's not really getting that much coverage. Now, you will hear some of this spill into the mainstream news. They talk about the issues in New York and in some places like Texas, right? Because in New York, it's a total, I'm not trying to curse on here, right? but it's a mess. It's a mess, and it's out of control. They putting these people up in hotels. They paying for their room and board, right? You can't even get behind on your rent or your mortgage or your bills, and they paying for these people's room and board. And not only that, but they're in many cases people are getting cards with money on it, right? And then you got to think in New York how expensive that is to put people up in hotels. Okay, New York is ridiculously expensive as hell. They putting these people up, okay, because the agenda to get them through, to put them up in this country so that they can disappear into all these different cities and towns is more important than the fact that they're destroying these towns and cities where they're bringing them in, right? So they got to bring these people in no matter what. So this is part of the reason Biden's here, and he's giving these. Remember, I showed you he was giving these marching orders years ago to the black leaders, the black civil rights leaders, that hey, y'all gonna have to start working with these migrants. Basically, y'all gonna have to start working with these Hispanics, right? There's more to it than that. But if we look at this from the New York Daily News, right? New Yorkers are increasingly concerned about the flood of what? Undocumented immigrants. Now, see, we're not knocking immigrants. New York is a city of immigrants, right? We're not telling people go out here and try to target people. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. You know, we're not talking about that. The brother Manuel said New York paying $8 million a day on migrants. Now paying $23 million a day for migrants. And it just keeps increasing. It's ridiculous, right? So New Yorkers are starting to get concerned about this. They're starting to see, they can't even hide the issues. It's starting to become apparent, even to the regular day layperson, that something's going on, right? To the point where people can't even ignore it. So now New Yorkers are starting to see there's a problem. And they're not just immigrants. No, they're undocumented, arriving in the city and are souring on President Biden with a year to go before the 2024 election. He ain't even worried about winning the election, right? He's like, look, I'm going to get in there regardless, right? It's like they had a video with Trump a few weeks ago. He was like telling the people, y'all don't even worry about going out and voting for me. Don't worry about it. You know, we going to win anyway. So this is how they acting. They don't even care that the people, the New Yorkers, are saying it's a serious problem, right? And 58% agree with Mayor Adams' statement last month that crisis could destroy New York City, right? Seldom do we see an issue where at least 79% of Democrats, Republicans, Independents, men, women, upstaters, downstaters, blacks, whites, Latinos, Catholics, Jews, and Protestants all agree the migrant influx is a serious problem. Everyone agrees. It's not like, you know, the Latinos are like, no, man, you know, no, everyone agrees it's a problem. You have people who work and who got the legal right to stay here, or their parents or grandparents did, and they're all agreeing this is a problem. You have undocumented people here. You have those that are homeless. You have people that are being put up and paid for, right? Room and board paid for, while everybody else has to struggle and work to survive. And yeah, right, the brother Emmanuel, we don't know their criminal records. We don't know what's going on. They got a dude who's out here in Long Beach exposing himself, raping women, and they keep letting him out of jail, right? They keep letting him back out because he has a job to do. That's what we're going to get to, though. These people have jobs to do. So they can be here mentally unstable. They can be here, you know, with all types of problems, or they're here, you know, who knows what they're doing. But it's like they're untouchable. And they're talking about Biden, you know, slumping in the polls because the New Yorkers are starting to get upset about this, right? It makes no sense. They got the mayor on here. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is complaining, right? And so now his ratings going down. So he got to complain too. Talking about he's down because of what, you know, New Yorkers see him doing with the migrants. They pissed off. So, you know, it's an issue. It's a big time issue. And remember, the mayor of New York said that this migrant crisis could destroy New York City. It is. It definitely has to be one of the plays that's going on. But we're going to show this. And it might not be enlistment in like the armed forces here, because that is a way that you can get citizenship, right? That's a quick way to get citizenship, to enlist in the army. But you know, these people might be working for the UN, right? United Nations. They might be, you know, international soldiers. So we don't know what's going on, but just want to show you more is because I know some of us, a handful of us, are paying attention. Most of us have no idea what's going on because it's all fun and games because we watching goofball videos all day, right? Like I said, man, I promise you, looks like they trying to get us behind a paywall, so we might not be able to look at this. But I promise you, if we were making goofball videos over here, it'll be live as hell right now, right? Like it'll be super live. So we don't know what's really going on. And Islam, I see your sister Great L. You said they just upped the enlistment age, you know, which would, I mean, that would make sense if they're trying to lessen the amount of um local, like homegrown people going into the service. Because these, see, this is the thing. They've been telling, or the information about the FEMA camps having these having large amounts of like um portable tent cities ready to put the people in, and having all of these coffins and things like that for mass killings. This stuff has been out here for decades now, right? It's been out here for what, like 20 decades, maybe even 30 decades, but definitely with the internet, that info's been out there. People have taken pictures and video of it. It's real, right? But it made no sense of how they will pull that off, because it's like, you know, people that's in the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, they're going to feel a certain kind of way about locking up their own people, killing their own people, right? Because it's not just white against black or something like that. It's like there's all types of people here in this country. There's all types of people from all different backgrounds that's in the armed forces, and they're not going to want to mess up their own people, right? So what do you do? How do you deal with that? You get people who could care less about any of y'all to come over here, okay? And so can't really see behind this paywall, but you see here, Wall Street Journal is saying passing out tents is Adams' possible next step in the New York migrant crisis, right? The mayor of New York says it's at full capacity. This just came out. This article on the Wall Street Journal just came out. So he's saying passing out tents. So in New York City, you know, Manhattan, all of these big time places, right? You're talking about turning it into a tent city with undocumented migrants, undocumented immigrants, right? Because it's at full capacity. You don't have any more hotels. It says Mayor Eric Adams says New York City has run out of hotels and other indoor sites to house more than 65,000 people in its care, right? So New York, where the rent is sky high, where all of these things are going on, you've got people undocumented that you are bringing in, and that they're coming in through the southern border, and they're getting on planes and being flown to New York and being put up in hotels paid for by you, by regular people who work, right? It's insane. It makes no sense. And so they're bringing these people in, and they got to put them up, right? And he's discussing distributing tents to newly arriving migrants. We done ran out of hotels, y'all. We done ran out of Airbnbs, y'all. We got to get some tents for these people, right? So this is insane. It's at an insane level. But yeah, you know, there's there's not enough attention to this. It's being overlooked. And then once again, there's so many distractions. It's so crazy. There's so much goofball stuff that's being promoted to the people, you know, because like, think about it. How many people, you know, all the time they looking at their phone, they playing some goofball mess. That's what it's all about. It's all about keeping you distracted, keeping you looking over here. If, as long as you can entertain yourself, you couldn't care less. We're going to keep going, though, because it's not just in New York. It's bad. It's bad in New York, but it's not just there, right? So nearly 2/3 of New Yorkers blame Biden for migrant crisis. Over half agree it'll destroy NYC. right? These might just sound like extreme, headlines and things of this nature, but it's real. This says cost to house illegals tops $1 billion in NYC.
Veteran homeowners, have you
Which
tried
makes no
getting a home
sense.
improvement loan at a bank lately?
No sense at all.
Good
Right?
luck.
We're
Some
paying
of
over
those rates
$1 billion to
50%
house
or higher.
uh,
Our rates are a fraction
undocumented
of what some of
immigrants.
those banks
Remember, that's
charge.
the key
Veterans
word.
across the
People
country are
with
using the
no
new
documents.
A100
You
VA
don't
loan
know
to
who
pay
they are. They
cash
don't know their background.
and
And for
improve their
some
home,
strange
whether you
reason,
need to
it's
replace
so
roof,
important to bring
windows,
them in here right now.
or want to upgrade
Okay.
to your dream kitchen.
So we want to
Scan the
discuss
code
that because
or
like
visit
they're acting like it's so important. When they're
MigrantUSA.com/home
refugees, they're coming from somewhere else. Well, if they're refugees and they're coming from somewhere else, why are most of these people men? What the hell's really okay? So yeah, as it says here, what now preparing to spend its staggering extra $1 billion on hotels alone to shelter migrants. And this is another one just recent, just published yesterday. And it's, this is a cost for housing illegal immigrants.
Over the weekend, 2 migrants were arrested for attacking women. The NYPD says both incidents appear to be domestic. Outside the iconic Roosevelt Hotel, you see these motorized bikes. The NYPD has cracked down on unregistered bikes.
Look at this. Look at this. They're saying that the people are being attacked, same as the thing just showed you.
Many migrants have been
in
using them
Long
to
Beach.
deliver food on apps like Uber Eats as they wait to get work permits. And inside, new pictures from the New York Post show migrants sleeping on the floor of what used to be a bar in this iconic hotel. Take a look at these pictures. And things could get worse pretty quickly here, Laura, because 13,000 single adult migrants are supposed to be sent here to reapply for housing this week. That's something that will now happen every 30 days. But what's really upsetting a lot of New Yorkers is the price tag for all this. You mentioned Mayor Eric Adams is reportedly extending the city's contract with hotels by 3 years for over $1.3 billion in taxpayer money. And lawmakers on both sides of the aisle call this wasteful spending for a manufactured problem.
I think it's a mistake.
The people are starting to call it out for what it actually is, talking about it's a manufactured problem, right? And they're paying for it. Meanwhile, real people that work, that have been here their whole lives, having problems, jobs being closed down. I'm not trying to be all negative, but people are dealing with real problems, but they're taking care of people from other countries that aren't even documented. Okay? If anybody thinks this is cool, get up out of here immediately. If you think it's cool to have people that are undocumented coming up in here and it's all being paid for by taxpayers, right? At extravagant cost, come on. Now, this is from the Council on Foreign Relations. Why New York is experiencing a migrant crisis. More than 100,000 migrants and asylum seekers in New York City and other major U.S. cities over the past year sparked renewed debate over U.S. immigration policies, right? They're talking about why are there so many all of a sudden. More than 118,000 migrants and asylum seekers, most of whom hail from countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, have arrived after crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. But this is not true. They are coming through that U.S.-Mexico border, but they're not all coming from Latin America and the Caribbean, right? We're gonna talk about that, right? So this is crazy. This is crazy, and it's going on. Nobody really knows why, right? They're saying, oh, the implosion of Venezuela's economy that occurred under the President Nicolas Maduro. He's the one who took over after Hugo Chavez. All right. They're saying the Haiti earthquake that happened in 2010. That's another reason why. So what they're doing is making the case why any of these people that are, brown skin tone, dark skin, light skin, whatever, doesn't matter. He could be Hispanic. He could be Haitian. He could be from Venezuela. Right. So that, that you don't know what's going on. They're making a case. This is why they destabilized Venezuela. This is why they destabilized Haiti and keep creating issues in these countries, because this is all by design, people. This is all by design, right? And yeah, going back to what the brother Manuel said, you have all types of people coming in through that southern border, right? And they're undocumented, so nobody even knows their real name, where they're coming from. This guy could be, he's a gang banger, right? Gang member, Chinese triad or something like that. And they're coming in and they're getting, rights. They're getting paid and they're getting a roof over their head, getting stipends for money, food and stuff like that. All right. So it is insane, y'all. It is. But bear with me, right? So just showing another city, this Chicago. They complaining about it in Chicago too. Remember, this is happening all across the board in the major, especially in the major cities. This says the ongoing crisis collides with Chicago's biggest political event in decades. Right, the Democratic uh, convention supposed to be going on this month. Immigrants from Venezuela rest in the lobby of a police station where they have been staying with other migrant families since their arrival in the city on May 9th, 2023. The city has been fluctuating numbers of busloads of migrants, adding to the difficulty of planning for arrival. So you have busloads of migrants, right? They're being bused from Texas because they're coming through that southern border and they're being bused into Chicago, being bused or flown into New York and all other places. It says last week, 28 busloads landed in Chicago, but as many as 60 have arrived in 1 week. Okay, so this is crazy. This ain't no joke, right? I just wanted to share that. This is not just happening in New York. We're gonna talk about what's really going on, y'all. So just pay attention more and remember to share this. Share this right now. You watching this, hit the like button because that's the only way to get more eyes on this, to get the algorithms up. Because remember, they're not sharing this stuff. We not talking about goofball stuff. I'm not like there's one dude who's always bugging his eyes out and eating food and like dancing and doing, stupid stuff. That stuff has like millions of views and we don't even know why. It's not even entertaining, right? And so it's bad. The Center for Immigration Studies, they're on here complaining. The border crisis undermines our democracy as migrants overwhelm shelter capacity in border communities and destination cities throughout the U.S. Remember, they have these sanctuaries like New York and stuff, the destination cities. The disruptions caused by our porous southern border seem obvious. Beneath the surface, however, is a deeper problem. Okay. The root cause of the crisis is the Department of Homeland Security under President Joe Biden is not merely failing to catch inadmissible migrants who sneak across the border. Rather, it is felicitating their entry, right? So you have people who shouldn't even be allowed to come anywhere, right? People who have criminal records, people who have, serious issues. And what you saying? You saying Joe Biden? Biden is now pressing for the wall to be put up. I saw that too, right? They were against the wall. Now they're acting like they need it. They're saying 26 laws were waived to allow the construction. It's crazy. This is insane. It's like the wall now, it's not being put up to keep people out. It's being put up to keep us in. And look, they show us things like this in pop culture. Like if you've ever seen the show Fear the Walking Dead, right? If you've seen that show in Fear the Walking Dead, when things really like first start to go south, they're in Los Angeles, the zombie apocalypse starts, there's protests going on, there's so many things going on. Like there's already all types of unrest occurring. So people don't even realize there's a zombie apocalypse because they're out in the streets protesting. And that takes out the whole civilization across the country. It destabilizes everything. And what do the people do is they started off with a family, right? What does that family wind up doing? They wind up fleeing the US and trying to go into Mexico. Okay. If you haven't seen that, just check out the first season. Just check out the first season. They flee the US to go into Mexico, man. Okay. So they're letting you know like this country is being destabilized from within. It's being destabilized on purpose. It's manufactured. And it's bad when you even see them saying that in the mainstream news. Like one of these articles I just read, it let it be known that people are calling it out. It's a manufactured problem. There's no issue with migrants. They are creating the issue. They are bringing people that don't even have the means to get into this country. They're bringing them here. They're paying for them. The people that can't even sustain themselves when they get here, they're paying for their room and board. They're giving them money. Okay, once again, the mayor of New York, who's a part of the problem, because he's okay in the finances to go through for the hotels to put these people up in. He's saying cities are being undermined by migrant crisis. Why? Because now the pressure's on him. It's obvious that people don't want him in there. And now New York, which has people from all over the world there, right? Now they're starting to have a bunch of people from Venezuela, which like wouldn't have been like a huge population of Venezuelans in New York. They got it now. Immigrants from Venezuela in the Bronx borough, like it's just crazy. And so there's no way around it, right? It's a problem. Even the people who are a huge part of the problem, these lawmakers, they're starting to try to save face and act like they're against it. Like, yeah, we're trying to fix this. So it's bad. It's out of control, and it's happening right in your faces, people. Right? This isn't something to turn a blind eye to. Latest wave of migrants at U.S. Mexico border puts Biden under renewed pressure. Right? And if you see this picture, just to show you again, because as the brother Emmanuel said in the chat, you have, and he's right, you have Chinese, Russians, Middle Eastern, people from all over the world, people from Senegal, people from all of these places, India, right? Egypt, from all of these different places are being allowed to come here, and they're being given means to get here so that they can come through the Mexican border, make it look like they're all from Central America, right? Just looking at this picture, like you can't tell who's Mexican by just looking at them, right? Depending on where you stay in the country, you may think so. If you live like in the southeastern US where there's a lot of people from Guatemala and Mexico, you may be able to think, oh, this is what Mexicans look like. But nah, you're wrong. There's Mexicans who look like they're of African descent. They have, real curly, nappy hair and everything. There's Mexicans that look straight up white, like the dude, or European, I should say, like the dude Canelo Alvarez, right? So if you have people that you are bringing in here from places like Russia, Croatia, all these places, right? And they're coming in through Mexico, like this dude right here. You see the dude up here on the left. You can't say he's not Mexican, right? So they got all these people coming in through the border and they're undocumented. So nobody knows who they are. And then some of the people can't even speak English. Okay? And so it's crazy because it's like, well, how do we change this? Because everybody's on board with it. You see the mayor of New York's trying to say, oh, yeah, the migrant crisis is devastating, saying all, but he's a part of it. Why is he financing billions of dollars to go towards housing the migrants and bringing them in, flying them in? So they're all in on it because it's so important for them to destabilize this nation. And Moors, please don't be foolish enough to think. And I mean, yeah, I would say the same thing, but then at the same time, who looks Mexican? You have people, when we were in Mexico, you have a lady at the airport. She's Mexican, speaking Spanish perfectly, and she's looked like she's of Chinese descent. It's just like here, right? You can't say who is and who isn't. So this is the perfect cover for you to bring in people from all over the world through the southern border. They're undocumented. You can just say, oh, they're coming here because the country in Venezuela, Colombia is destabilized. They need to come here and get asylum, right? Meanwhile, they have no documents. They speak no English. Nobody knows their name. Now, you do have men, women, and children, but the vast majority is men. And that's really crazy. I've seen the pictures and the videos where there's trains of, just nothing but men inside the train, on top of the train, right? And they're coming here, and it's ridiculous, right? It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. So some of these things that are happening in these countries, not saying that they're not that Venezuela's, economy and stuff didn't really crash and all of these things didn't happen. No, that did happen, but it was done by design, right? Giving them more cover. But okay, now we need to allow them to come here. Meanwhile, they're allowing all types of people to come. But look at these numbers. Administration expressed a major concern among Democrats this week by making more than 472,000 Venezuelans already in the U.S. eligible for temporary protected status. So they can't be deported, right? 472,000. It's already here, plus the people they got coming. And some of these people they saying that Venezuelan, they're not even Venezuelan. Nobody knows who they are. We don't know if they're trained in the military. We don't know who they are, what they're here to do. Some of these people come here, they get lost in the sauce, like that guy in the streets raping people over and over again, but he's got temporary protected status. You might be able to put him in jail for a few days, but he ain't going to prison. That should be, eye opening to everybody, right? That should be eye opening. Why is that being allowed to occur? This is not a joke and this is not like a game, right? So we have people that are actually being, brought over here. And then on top of this, while all this is going down, Biden warns against shutdown, makes case for a second term with VP at Congressional Black Caucus dinner, right? So he's making his plans. Yeah, we're gonna run again, we're gonna win, and we're gonna have a potential government shutdown. You know that, right? We got another form of COVID coming, right? We're gonna have to shut everything down. Okay. So if you got to shut down what country, if you're a legitimate country,
of the federal
wants to be
government.
successful, that wants the people here to be successful, to have, a good quality of life. You're planning on shutting things down, but oh, we got to put up all these immigrants.
The deadline is
on.
midnight Saturday, and the White House is warning federal agencies to prepare to close. CBS's Skylar Henry joins us from Capitol Hill with more on what a shutdown would entail.
So you got all of this stuff pending government shutdown because of the budget and stuff. They don't have what they need, and then they're trying to revamp COVID, the shutdown, all of this stuff going on, right? It's ridiculous. So I just wanted to share this because, you know, this is what's going on. Let's talk about what's really behind this stuff, though, right? Because that's one thing you're not gonna hear. You hear words like they're saying, "Oh, it's a manufactured crisis," letting you know that it's fake. Not saying that these people aren't really here. Just saying, letting you know it's manufactured. It's put together on purpose.
Hey, I think
right. They're it's done by design. In other words, right? So they're letting you know that this stuff is done by design, right? That it's not just some organic thing that happened because you got, you have people you're giving asylum to. They're letting you know it's more to it than that. They're being straight up with you about that. Now I want to play this video. I don't know what's up with TikTok, man. They just turned everything black. So let me know if you can hear me, man. I don't know what happened. Look like the TikTok ain't working. But so we got that going on. We got all of these people being allowed to come here. And it doesn't really make sense why. People coming from all directions. That also. Want to play this one more time.
Hey, I think y'all better wake up. There are tens of thousands of foreign soldiers on U.S. soil. Tens of thousands, might be 10, might be 40, might be 100,000. There are soldiers, not people, soldiers, just waiting for their general to wage war on America. They're going to wage war on America. Man, eyes open, arms up, and not these arms. Eyes open, arms up, man. Protect your family. Stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. This is crazy. We don't know the time. We don't know what they want. And just stay prepared. Anything can happen at any time. And we're not talking years, months, or even weeks.
All right. So, I'm just sharing this because I agree with what he's saying. And I want you Morris to know that this is not a joke. So we see that. Now let's talk about like what's really going on. We're gonna hit on some solutions though. So it's not just, the problem, the problem, the problem. We also gonna hit on some solutions. But so you see that there really is a issue with the so-called migrant crisis, right? Now they're making it look like it's just people that's coming in from like, from Central South America. But I want to show y'all some stuff. It's more to it than they're telling us. A lot more to it, right?
What were they supposed to receive in
Yeah, so they're saying this dude's Haitian. I don't think he's Haitian. Sound like he's speaking Spanish to me. But they're saying that this guy, because he's got a card, he's not getting money deposited on it. Y'all can't hear? Oh, y'all couldn't hear that at all? Okay, let me see what we could do about that. So like on this video, right? They got this dude. They're saying he's Haitian. I think this dude's maybe like Hispanic. I don't know, Dominican Republic or something like that. But anyway, the guy is saying that he's got this card that he just receives finances on every month, and he's upset because there's no money on it. So he's like letting it be known, hey, it's from the UN. Okay, but here we go.
Money, so and they haven't deposited my account. ¿Cuánto te depositaban? El depósito el 7 de enero a 14 de enero, pero no deposita nada. Yeah? So the whole month of January you haven't received anything.
What were they supposed to receive in there?
¿Cuánto es lo que te dan? Es el último pago. ¿Cuánto fue? Cuatro el dinero, 3,600 pesos. 3,600 pesos was the last payment I received.
And it goes. Does that go into your bank account?
¿A dónde va? ¿Tienes una cuenta? ¿Una tarjeta? Sí. ¿Tienes?
Oh, let me see. And how much is anything on that card now at all? Any money?
¿Tiene dinero? No, no hay dinero. No hay? No hay nada. No depositan nada.
New York.
Where are you going? Where are you from? India?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, California.
You?
California.
Where? You?
India, California.
Real quick though, let's pause this. All of these people are saying they're Indian, like from India, and then saying where they're going. So the first dude's like India going to New York. The other people, India, New York. Then these last people saying they're India going to California. And these are people who were coming in through the southern border. Okay. And I was just saying, like, like these people are Indian, but it's like they coming through the southern border. So they'll just say, oh, there's migrants coming in, from Venezuela, coming in, from Colombia. All right. But these people are saying, hey, they're Indian from India.
Where are you from? India?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, California.
You?
California.
Where? You?
India, California.
You?
Senegal.
Where you going? Where you going? California, New York, where you going?
New York.
New York?
You see this? Like, this dude said he's from Senegal and he's going to New York. All right? And they're coming in through the southern border. And it's all men.
You? Where you from?
This was filmed last month.
Where you going? Jersey? You?
Bangladesh.
Where you going?
New York.
You?
Y'all hear this, right? This dude said he's from Bangladesh. Bangladesh. I didn't even hear what the dude before him said. Dude said he's from Bangladesh. Okay. So how are they getting to Mexico to come in through the border? These aren't people seeking asylum. You know, what's going on in India where they need to seek asylum, but they're undocumented and they're coming in. So anyone coming in through the southern border, it doesn't matter if you coming from Russia, doesn't matter you coming from Japan, don't matter where you coming from. Right now, you coming in through the southern border with all these migrants, you're just classified as a migrant, which means for them, it means you're coming from Central South America. Even though these people from Bangladesh and all these other places, Senegal.
Bangladesh.
Where you going?
Georgia.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where you going?
Georgia.
You?
New York.
New York? Where you from? Where you from?
Good.
Where are you from? Africa, Haiti, where you from?
Senegal.
Synagogue. You?
Africa.
Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. Where are you going, sir?
Africa.
You're from Africa? Where are you going?
New York.
Thank you. You?
New York.
From where?
New York.
Where are you from?
New York.
Africa?
Senegal.
Senegal. Tú? Tú?
Chicago. Chicago. Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú? Tú? Denver. ¿Tú? ¿Tú? Chicago también. ¿Tú? Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú? Chicago también. ¿Tú?
Chicago, patrón.
Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú?
All right. So y'all think this is a joke? If you want, this is really going on for real out here, right? They're bringing in these people. A lot of these people, they're not from Spanish speaking countries. They're not from, they're not migrants, which is what they consider these people. They claim that they're giving them asylum. All right. So I'm just sharing this because this isn't like some craziness out here or conspiracies that's out here to hype you up. This is why you had a mainstream media even saying that this is a manufactured crisis.
I don't know if y'all can see what this says.
They are flying people in from other countries so that they can go through the border for this fake or false notion that everyone coming through that southern border is escaping some bad condition where they need to seek asylum here. And so they're all going to these sanctuary cities like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, and other places. Okay? So yeah, this is real. We're gonna talk about solutions too, though. This isn't a joke.
I don't know if y'all can see what this says. This card that this guy whipped out from Haiti. They was walking by interviewing people, and there was like, this guy said that he has a card from the government, from the UN, and it got topped up every month, and he was like, this month since he got to the United States that he has no money on there, and he asked him, how much money did you get put into the account every month, and he was like 3,000 pesos, and he was like, let me see the card. So the guy flipped the card, real quick, and me being who I am, I screenshotted it. And then I did some investigations. And as you see on the card, it says U.M.M.C.A. and some other words, right? So, of course, I did my digging. And this is actually who these people are, like I said. Unspecified Minor Military Construction Army. These people that are flooding from into the borders. So yeah, we have an alien invasion, all right. We're being invaded right now. Get ready. It's World War III. And nobody said anything. I mean, you would think that they would announce, hey, hey, Americans, no, because this is an inside attack. That's why they're pouring in by the thousands. These people are getting paid to come here, you guys. We have a prepaid card. Unspecified minor military construction. They're getting paid 3,000 pesos a month to come here, to attack us, to incite riots and race wars, and so that they can enact military law. I'm sorry, that's my chihuahua. So that they can enact martial law. I'm sorry. So yeah, America, Is this the time where we do something? Cause what y'all was waiting on? This was it, right? When there's blue hats on the soil, this is what you was waiting on, right? Well, it's here, and they're getting paid to do that. And so if you was getting paid $3,000 a month, they're getting paid more than the American military. You know what I'm saying? They're getting paid more than our soldiers. So what you think gonna happen? You guys, let me remind you in case you just joined. I'm sorry, my dog. He's got a card. He's working. These guys are not just refugees. These guys are not just people looking for asylum. These are workers. These are people that's here to destroy Americans. Wake up. Good morning.
All right, so just for the most part, like I said, sharing it so that this is not a joke, right? This is extremely real. There's several instances where this is happening at the border. And then with it all, you have why do you have all these men if they're fleeing the situation, is messed up that they're like they're fleeing because their government is going through trouble, their government's in turmoil. Why? Where's the little children? Where's the women? Well, you just lead them all behind. You know why are they on? That, and then on top of that, the women and children that do come, you also have the situations where the children that are coming in, they're disappearing. They're not even making it into the country. They're being huddled off and sent off to other locations, right? So there's a lot of craziness going on. But you know what we really should be concerned with is why all of these people allowed to come into this
to
country.
continue confronting those threats, both here in the United States and overseas.
And so just playing this, let me rewind that back just a little bit. You have FBI warning, which they've been doing and been preparing for, talking about a terror attack on U.S. soil, an internal threat, internal terrorists, right? This is how it happens, people. This is why they show us all of these movies with society falling, zombie apocalypse, right? This is why you see people fleeing into Mexico. They're letting you know it's going to be that bad here. The wall is for keeping people in this country, right?
Remain committed to continue confronting those threats, both here in the United States and overseas. In this heightened environment, there's no question we're seeing an increase in reported threats, and we've got to be on the lookout, especially for lone actors who may take inspiration from recent events to commit violence of their own. So I'd encourage you to stay vigilant, because as the first line of defense, protecting our communities, you're often the first to see the signs that someone may be mobilizing to violence. I'd also ask you to continue sharing any intelligence or observations you may have, and on our end, we're committed to doing the same so that together we can safeguard our communities.
All right, more. So just want to show you one last thing, and we're going to focus on solutions from here on out. Because this isn't some scary stuff. I mean, there's some people, they'll hit you with all this stuff you're supposed to be scared of, and then that's it, right? But there is a solution, especially for the Moors out there. We're gonna hit on that. Now, you saw this video clip earlier.
¿A qué estado te diriges?
They just like two. They're asking everybody, and you, where you from, right? Or where you going? They're all, New York and all of these places, or Chicago. But it's all men, right?
Oregon, tú? Chicago, tú? Chicago, tú? Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú? Tú? Tú?
Denver.
Tú? 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 Tú?
Denver.
Tú?
Chicago. Chicago. Chicago.
Tú? Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú?
Chicago.
Tú? Tú?
Denver.
Denver, tú?
Denver.
Tú? Chicago también. Tú? Chicago. Chicago. Tú? Chicago también. Tú? Chicago. Chicago. ¿Tú? Chicago.
Nueva York.
Carolina del Norte, Nueva York. ¿Tú? Nueva York, New
New
York. Chicago. Chicago.
Chicago,
¿Tú? Denver. Detroit. Detroit.
Denver, Detroit. You're
Miami.
going
Este es
everywhere.
el único que salió vivo. ¿Tú? Indiana. ¿Tú? 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 Dallas. Dallas también. Dallas. ¿Tú? Chicago. Dallas. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. Arizona. ¿Tú dónde vas? Denver. Cincinnati. Órale. Atlanta. Dallas.
Look at that. Look at that. Cincinnati, Indiana, Orlando, Florida, Atlanta. They're going everywhere. They're going to Denver. They're going to Detroit. They're going all over. And so I'm showing this because these people are like lining up. They're going to these buses where these people are getting off these buses, and they're just asking them where they're going to. They're going all over the country. So um, there is a solution to this stuff. All right. But once again, you have people that are coming here. They're given an incentive to come here as they're receiving payments. They're receiving room and board. Everybody's not even from these Central South American countries that they're saying that these people are receiving asylum from. You've got people from India, Bangladesh, Senegal, all of these places too, and they're coming in through the southern border, which makes no sense. Why are they coming in through Mexico with Mexicans and Guatemalans and Colombians and all this, right? Venezuelans, right?
Chicago. 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 New York. Chicago. Chicago también. ¿Tú? Chicago. ¿Tú? Nueva York. ¿Tú? Nueva York. Denver. ¿Y usted? ¿Saludos a quién? ¿Saludos a quién? ¿Tú? Denver. Denver. Denver también. Denver. ¿A Guatemala? Oh, ¿no? Chicago. San Antonio. Denver. Denver. Dallas. Washington. ¿Tú? Denver. Órale. There it is, guys.
So you see, like, people, mostly men, they're coming here. They're each given assignments, and they're just here until they get their assignment, their next assignment of what to do. So they're here and they're being put up room and board. The government doesn't have to pay them as much money as they would have to pay Americans. So it's cheap for them to bring these soldiers in and paying them in pesos or whatever they're paying them in, right? Okay. But there's a solution to this, right? And the solution isn't because you'll hear people or see people sharing this like, just get your guns, load up on your guns, right? Look, I'm not saying don't, have guns or arms in your household. I'm just saying that the solution for Moorish Americans that are here is easy. And it's the same one that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought to us in the 1920s. This is the only way out. The only way out. It's not running away, escaping. It's not hiding. It's not saying, oh, this is bad. I'm just going to start watching TV and watching goofy videos online and act like nothing's happening. It's not say, well, I'm just going to focus on the positivity and just everything's going to work out. Because I'm all about the power of the mind. But ignoring it is not going to fix it, right? You maybe knowing how to fight and having guns in your house, that might be okay, but that's not what's going to fix it. That might not even last very long for you. What's actually going to fix this, people, if you're here, I'm assuming you've heeded the call, you know that you are more. What's actually going to fix this is coming into the temple, Moorish Science Temple of America, working with your fellow Moors to actually build your communities for real, right? To actually build our own Moorish communities where we are organized and civilized locally and working to take control of everything that we need to provide for ourselves, knowing that the government is going to let us down when it comes to food, knowing that the government is going to let us down when it comes to housing and everything that we need. So working to have our own economy so that we can survive no matter what is going on. And then also being aligned as a nation because we have temples all over all over the nation, all over the states. And so wherever our temple's at, that's going to be the center of our community. And Islam, the brother said, if you try to tell, quoting the prophet, if you try to tell what a man is by looking at him, you are burner from the start. We we know this. We spoke on this, right? That's why we showed that article showing the the migrants coming in, and you see a guy who looks like he's of European descent. I mean, that doesn't mean he's not Mexican or Venezuelan or whatever he's supposed to be. You can't tell what someone is by looking at him, right? But here's the other flip side of that. People can come in from anywhere in the world, and as long as they're coming in under this this notion of being a migrant, then it's just assumed that they deserve political asylum. So it doesn't matter if they're coming here from Bangladesh, doesn't matter if they're coming here from Russia, doesn't matter where they're coming here from, if they're soldiers, if they're criminals, it doesn't even matter if that country is literally letting criminals out of the prisons and sending them here. They're saying that they're migrants from such and such. And you can't look at this person and say, oh, he's not from there. You can't look at this woman and say she's not from there. You can't even look and say, oh, he got blonde hair, blue eyes. He's not from Venezuela. Yeah, right. You have Venezuelans of all shades and of skin complexions and, just like here in America. Okay. So you can't look at them and tell, you know, you can't tell who's from Bangladesh, who's from India, who's from wherever. And then you also don't know their background, what they're really here for. So what we have to do is be about our own nation, be about building up our own nation right here, right now. Moors have to give up the silly goofiness. The Moors that are trying to work you know, their own avenues, the Moors that are in the temple, for unrighteous purposes, right? They're in here, they're trying to make money off of the people. They're doing all types of stuff they have no business doing. The Moors that are in the temple are going to have to hold these people accountable and remove them so that we could do the good work. It's the only way out of this, Morris. If we are building up our own communities all over the nation, we have the one up on people who just got here because we've been here. You don't have to fear these people. They come in here, a lot of times don't even speak the language fluently, right? They come in here sooner or later, they're gonna find out that these government officials, these dirtbags, these despicable people who are paying them, busing them in here, flying them in here on planes, they're soon gonna learn that those people are gonna let them down too, right? So if they've been given orders, or they're gonna be given orders to hurt and harm us, to do things to us, they're gonna start to realize that they're being played too. All right. So we Moors have to be about our own business, building up our own civilizations, man. It's not about watching stuff on YouTube. It's definitely not about entertaining yourself with TV and goofball, silly videos and memes and all of that stuff. It's no time for playing around, right? It's not time to stick your head in the sand. The Moors that are serious, that realize that this is the hour. When the prophet told us these are the end times, he was not playing around. He was right on time. And he was talking to us right here and right now. We have to get it together, right? There's no more time to play. We have to be about building up our own nation. That's the only way out of this. I mean, it's not about debating. It's not about trying to prove I'm right, you're wrong, none of that stuff, right? The prophet said the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies in chapter 48. And he said the last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due time. He didn't come too soon. He wasn't ahead of his time. He came in due time to do what? To redeem men from their sinful ways. If we suffer, if we have to suffer and go through more heartache and turmoil, it's because we didn't get it together and build our nation, right? But he came here to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. It's sure to come. That's why no matter how much this stuff gets exposed, even though the people don't agree with it, it's still going on. They show how the New Yorkers are starting to see that the crisis is ruining their city. And guess what? There's still the mayor of New York just cut deals for hotels to receive $1.6 billion over the next 3 years to house these migrants. They're not going to stop it. They're not. And we see that these people are coming from all types of places. They have no connection to you, right? What do they even see of you? What do you think they think of the so-called black people, the so-called black Americans, African Americans? What do they see of us? They might not even speak English. They might not even understand us, but when they do see us, it's through mass media, it's through rap videos, it's through TV shows and movies. They see criminals. They see people who have no self-respect or dignity, right? They see the shows, the it's pushing all this degenerate behavior, right? The reality TV, right? So they don't have no respect or care for you. You saw the brothers on there, dark skinned brothers saying they from Senegal. They don't have no love or care for you. And it's not even like saying there's something wrong with them. It's just saying the pictures they see of you, the imagery they've been pushed through the media. They have no all they the only reason they here is to empower themselves. We have to be about building up our own nations. We have to be about our own work, right? We have to be about our own work. There's no other way out of this. No other way. I just wanted to show you this though because this isn't really being talked about by a lot of people. I've seen the brother Sear sharing some of this videos and stuff of this nature, and there's a couple of people that talk about it, but it's not really being discussed and it's just happening right under everybody's nose. So please share this video, like, share the video, help to spread this information out there. If you want to help to support this platform, please do. You can always send a cash app to Moors in America, $ Moors in America. You can also support this channel too with the super chat or the stars on Facebook. Um, Support the channel, like and share this video. Don't just watch it. Share it to help spread this information. Um, we see people coming in through that Texas border, and they're not all coming from these places they're telling us they're coming from, right? They're coming from all different types of places, and they're going to all cities and towns all over to infiltrate. All right. This isn't saying go out there and target innocent people, you know. This is just saying get your own affairs in order. We need to build up our nation more. There's no more playing for this. There's no more playtime. There's no more time to joke around. We can't entertain ourselves. If you want to entertain yourself, you're going to be entertaining yourself to death. All right. And on that note, Moors, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. We don't want to go too long with this, but yeah, I agree. It is an organized invasion. It definitely is. If you ask me, there's no doubt in my mind that this is organized and manufactured, as they said in the mainstream media. The people are noticing this is a manufactured crisis. Just one of the many attacks. Some more stay on your square. Um, if you encounter problems with the temple, with your own people, don't give up. Work harder, right? Push harder. If you see people in there that are crooks, that are embezzling the faith, do the work to get them out. Don't stick your head in the sand. This is the only sole source of salvation for us, right? We have to come in and build our nation up now. There's no more time to play. So just end with these words. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourselves with the family of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. We have everything that we need to save ourselves. And when the prophet said this, we have everything we need to build up our nation, to save ourselves. He was just holding up the Quran, the Circle 7 Quran, the the divine constitution and bylaws, and the questionnaire. That's it. Quran questionnaire. We have everything that we need. Now, as far as our physical needs, we can do all of that. We have everything, right? So it's time to come in and do this work, Morris. There's no more time to play. And on that note, Morris, we're out of here. hit like and share. Peace and love.
It's chapter 7. Mind of an Asiatic, homie. Yo. See, any other time, I wouldn't pay you any mind. Put my best foot forward in every verse and every line. I used to dream, I used to pray about the day that I get signed into the truth. About this business just blew my mind. I swear to God, I used to think all I needed was a skill. High verse, catchy hook, dope look, then get a deal. I used to love the rock a sold out show just for the thrill until the real was revealed to my spirit like Jabril. I'm iconic.
Black is beautiful, but if you blackballed, you mashed up. Can't see the light, they say black cats are bad luck. Black is a color, and we're not painted, stained, or varnished. With these black labels, our heritage remains tarnished. Black power made us all raise a black fist, but whoever did was soon put on the blacklist. Black people, where's your black flag unless you're killing roaches? You say you black and you proud, but yet we're not the closest. Emotions are high when we become a black target. If it's illegal, it moves, then it's on the black market. Bad guys wear black, that's some color alone.
Yeah, they say they want this more science, so I'ma give it to them. Islamism, no illusions when I'm interviewing. Know what I'm doing, no confusion, I ain't in the cooning. I'm in the moving units, out here starting revolutions. In love with shooters, making masterminds out the goonies. I got them booming out here, zooming on the plane of soul. I tell them take me to the grove, they like Islam mode. I'm letting them know this not a show, this all systems go. It's two cells, one man, both high and low. I'm so spiritual, the indigos feel the vibe. I'm so lyrical, a miracle that I survive. Extend my 5 to the 4, I can see him coming. Plus my angel got the angle with the engine running. It's all justice, freedom, peace, truth, and love.
Fez Caps blends Moorish style with modern streetwear hats. The cutting-edge design features Moorish symbols with a silk tassel on the dome of the cap. More than just a fashion statement, Fez Caps represents something powerful and ancient within you. Go to fezcaps.com to order your Fez Cap now.
Don't let your history start at slavery. Join with Moorish Science Temple, a lawfully chartered Islamic organization, and proclaim your nationality while helping us uplift fallen humanity. Founded by American prophet Noble Drew Ali and consistently promoted plans for the betterment of humankind. We are located in Columbus, Ohio. Visit our website www.moorishamericans.com and follow us on social media. We hold live meetings on Zoom every Friday and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us a call at 614-407-4394 if you would like to join or send donations to help us uplift fallen humanity.
Highest quality handmade fezzes. Crafted fez with the finest wool, complete with tassel and leather sweatband. Wear the national headdress of Moorish Americans with pride and respect. 3XL size fez is a comfortable fit for brothers with dreadlocks. Shipping worldwide. Go to moorishfez.com to order.
Care More is a non-profit organization focused on providing goods and services to families and individuals in our underfunded communities in Central Ohio. We have created an online presence to reach members of our Central Ohio communities, as well as local events and meetings to give away supplies and donations throughout the city all year long. Visit our website to learn more and to send a donation.
Every day, billions of searches are conducted online, therefore it is critical that your company stands out to the small percentage of clients who are essential to your business. Our team of local digital marketing consultants and SEO experts is eager to help your company achieve its goals through a consultative approach, top Google rankings, and collaboration with industry experts. Here at Adept Marketing Solutions, we stand for integrity, dedication, ingenuity, and results. We know how to navigate the ever-changing digital landscape and what brands must do to succeed. Visit our website to see what we can do to help you reach your goals.